Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to today's video. Got a couple cruise news stories for you today. We got an update for Palm Beach, Florida. We have a cruise line that is going to sail Alaska for the very first time ever, and a story of why having a hot tub on your cruise balcony, well, there's some gross stuff going on out there with that. So let's jump right on into today's cruise news. Now, we just talked about the parking situation over in Palm Beach, Florida. They were doing away with the valet parking. They were going to self-parking. This was supposed to start this Friday, November the 1st. It's amazing how quickly things can change in the cruising world because, well, the Port of Palm Beach has come out and said, well, we're not actually going to do that. At least we're not going to do that yet. So the valet service at the Palm Beach Cruise Terminal will continue until next year. They are going to go to self-parking, but now they want to wait until the facial recognition systems are set up and installed in the terminal. Once that's completed, then they will switch over to self-parking. Now, that's not scheduled to happen till sometime next year. So for now, there's no date that this is going to happen. The November the 1st date is gone, and valet service will continue at Palm Beach at least into the foreseeable future. Next, MSC Cruise Lines, the third largest cruise line in the world. They are going to begin sailing in Alaska in 2026, and this is going to be the first time MSC has ever done Alaska sailing. Now, they are going to be sending one ship, the MSC Piosia. She is going to be departing from Seattle beginning in May of 2026. The ship will be going to Ketchikan, Icy Strait Point, Juneau, Alaska, Victoria, British Columbia, on 7-day round-trip cruises from Seattle through September. So if you are a fan of MSC, like to sail on MSC, want to do an Alaskan cruise on MSC, you're going to have the opportunity coming the season of 2026. Now, the Carnival Dream, she is currently out on a 14-night Journeys cruise, sailing out of the port of Galveston. Well, she did experience some propulsion issues that began while docked in St. Martin back on the 27th. Now, this meant the ship had to remain docked in St. Martin overnight, didn't depart till early the next morning while they attempted to make the repairs. And this did create a delay in the itinerary. They were supposed to be at St. Croix 7 a.m. that morning. They didn't make it there until early afternoon, but the ship did stay late in St. Croix, continued to work on the ship, continued on the repairs, and it did give guests more time in port, and they didn't leave until after 7 o'clock that evening. Now, this did give them time. The situation has been fixed. The ship has been repaired. She is back on track, back on schedule, and is back to cruising at normal speeds. Now, she's due back in Galveston on November the 2nd, with the next sailing coming on the same day. No changes, no itinerary changes, no expected impact on any future sailings. Ship's back to traveling at 22 knots. So they had a problem, fixed the problem. Ship is now good to go. And finally, we're going to talk about hot tubs on balconies on board cruise ships, because they might come with a few hidden surprises, some dangerous, deadly hidden surprises that you're going to want to know about if you have one of these on your upcoming cruise. Now, there has been an investigation done by the CDC, and they have released a report about these hot tubs, and they cover 2 cruise ships in this report. Now, the CDC has specifically redacted the names of the ship. They're calling it Cruise Ship A and Cruise Ship B. And this report is going over a recent, what they call an outbreak of Legionnaire's disease that has been linked and connected to hot tubs on board cruise ships, specifically those on private balconies. Now, Legionnaire's disease is a severe case of pneumonia, and over these 2 cruise ships, they found 12 cases between November of 2022 and July of 2024. Now, with the number of cruise ships that are out there sailing, the number of people that sail all the time on cruise ships, 12 cases, I don't know if that would really be considered an outbreak, but Legionnaire's does have the potential to be deadly. People can die from this. And because of that, the CDC is taking it seriously, and they have made some recommendations to the cruise lines to improve cleaning, improve maintenance, to reduce the risk of this popping up in these hot tubs. Now, according to the CDC, cruise ship A first began to have issues when 5 passengers reported symptoms after a November 2022 sailing. After that, more cases appeared on the same cruise ship, and they were up to 8 passengers by April of 2024. So 8 passengers affected on cruise ship A. Now, the cruise ship did conduct comprehensive water testing, and they did this from various locations around the ship. They checked hot tubs, they checked the drinking water system, they checked the public areas on the ship, and the Legionnaire bacteria was found in 6 of the 10 private hot tubs on the balcony areas. Some of them with some very high dangerous levels. So cruise ship A had 10 private hot tubs. 6 out of the 10 had Legionnaire's bacteria found and detected in them. Now, on cruise ship B, they had reports in January, February, and May of 2024 of Legionnaire's disease and Legionnaire's disease symptoms. They did the same lab test, the same water test on cruise ship B, and they found that every single private hot tub on the ship had the Legionnaire's bacteria in it. All of them. Now, 100% of these passengers that caught the Legionnaire's disease were all sailing from the US, and all reported at some time during their cruise they had been in both public and private hot tubs and had also visited the spa. So all that caught it had a private hot tub and been in a private hot tub, which is where, of course, the test showed this disease was at. Now, while the CDC did not name what cruise ship A and cruise ship B is, there were reports of Legionnaire's disease on board cruise ships right around all of the same time framing as the CDC's report. There were reported cases on the Norwegian Prima at the same time as the CDC's time frame, and on the Celebrity Ascent all around the same time frame. Not 100% sure that is the 2 ships, that's A and B, but there were cases reported on those 2 cruise ships. So there's a pretty good chance that it may be the Prima and it may be the Ascent that this particular report is talking about. Now, the solution and what was proposed by the CDC is more rigorous cleaning, more rigorous maintenance, drain the water, clean the filters, clean the elements, do it not necessarily every cruise, in between passengers, but to do it more often every day after every use. Now, more than just those 2 cruise ships have private hot tubs on the balcony. And this, of course, is not every cabin, and it's predominantly not the majority of cabins. Obviously, your inside stateroom, your ocean view, your standard balcony cabins are not going to have private hot tubs on them. But if you are in one of those cabins that does, this is something to keep in mind. Remember, 6 out of 10 showed the Legionnaire's bacteria on cruise ship A. All of them on cruise ship B showed it. So yes, hot tubs can be nice, they can be relaxing, it can be super enjoyable to sit in one and sip a drink. Just remember, you're on a ship with thousands of other people, and sometimes doing something just as simple as enjoying your hot tub could come with a little extra unexpected surprise. And that's going to be our video for today. If you've enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.